This maybe isn't the most... Oh, yeah, a bit different sound here now. This might not be the most smooth experience ever, but it is worth a shot. It is quite interesting how I'm playing this on one computer and streaming on another, but I can see from the source sound that it is not lagging often, but at times it might do a little lag spike. It's also a bit iffy on the sound, the sound levels, because it doesn't really fit in what I hear. But yeah, it seems to be quite okay. You need to boost up the game sound so I can hear it, because right now I can just see the game sound happening. Anyway, EA Sports F1 Manager, the infamous manager game that it did kill the whole idea of having F1 manager games. It came after Grand Prix Manager 1, Grand Prix Manager 2 and Grand Prix World, which were quite good. They had ideas, they had everything. They didn't have everything, but they had quite a lot of features that you didn't even find in the Frontier F1 Manager series. So why the Grand Prix Manager game series? A bit like the Grand Prix 1, 2, 3, 4 simulation game series, was low on budget but also filled with passion. The F1 Manager game from EA Sports were more blatant cash grab. It feels like they used the license they had for the F1 games at the time and decided to create a manager game. And it is absolutely awful. It is actually... It's a really bad game, but somehow it hits a spot. There is one meta for the game. There's one way to win, and that's it. There is one way to play it. There isn't much more to it. There is no big changes from playthrough to playthrough. But still, it is fun in a way that I can't explain why. Hello, Mr. Costa, or Pedro Lamy, which would be the closest. But yeah, so let's dive in and have a look at everything that makes the game awful. Or to be honest, I can't show everything that makes the game awful because I'm not going to play it through a whole season, but at least not on this stream. But yeah, Also, it is going to be a bit weird to play on my laptop and talking into a microphone that's connected to my desktop. It's very, very interesting. And obviously it is based on the 1999 season. And well, Pedro Lamy is closer to 99 than Pedro Chavez. So that's why. But yeah, it's based on the 99 season. So you've got Arrows, British American Racing, Benetton, Ferrari, Jordan, McLaren, Minardi, Prost, almost said Red Bull, Sauber, Stewart, Williams. With all the main people involved, the chief designers, the technical director, commercial manager, which in Ferrari would be Stefano Domenicali. It's interesting how things changes. Also, the mouse I'm using for the laptop isn't amazing, I feel. Ferrari and Sauber doesn't have a test driver, but that's irrelevant. There's nothing to gain from testing in this game. There is, like I said, this is a cash grab. It's, yeah. Where in the Grand Prix Manager and Grand Prix World games, there is a point of going testing. The testing is not a thing here. And the teams have different goals. We're going to go with the easiest team to play with in terms of not getting game over after one season, which is Stewart. With Rubens Barrichello, Johnny Herbert and Luciano Borte as the drivers. But again, the test driver it's even less relevant in this game than the Frontier games. So the only object you have in the game, except winning of course, is to reach the team goal. And for Stewart that is top 6 in Constructor Championship, which is extremely easy. And all the different teams have different goals. Some are harder than others. I think the general consensus is that Arrows is the hardest by far. Sauber is a tough challenge together with Williams. And Prost might throw up some issues. The rest of the teams should be more than possible to complete the season and actually go through to the 2000 season. Anyway, let's start the game. And it's all changed at Stewart Grand Prix. This might be one of the best things with the game, and that's the new stuff. So yeah, with the start of the new Formula 1 season just a few weeks away, Stewart Grand Prix has surprised everyone by enlisting the services of Ole Myhrvold. Yeah, I would be surprised as well. Much is expected with the new team manager and the team's confirmed personnel, including Rubens Barrichello and Johnny Herbert. And yeah, it's basically objectives from the chairman is finish 6th or higher in the Constructor Championship. That is easy AF with Stewart. No, the Jaguar takeover is not going to happen. So there are changes. As you jump into that then. Can I? No, I can't. Okay, so there are changes from 99 to 2000 in the calendar. You do get the Indianapolis round added. Or do you? Oh, maybe not. Ooh, no, maybe not. But you do have Malaysia, Sepang, changing from being towards the end and towards the early part of the season. So you do get changes in the calendar for the 2000 season. And that's where it stops. And that is a sign of how things will be. And this usual welcome messages. Yeah, Bolt is the test driver. He is confident that he can help the team move ahead, but there is literally nothing to do. Barrichello is driver 1 and Herbert is driver 2. Drive tactically, yeah, if that would be possible as well. It's not really. Then there's the technical director with suppliers, manufacturing, assembly. Chief designer with, well, new parts. And the commercial manager. So, first things first, we need to do something with the new designs. As you can see, it's estimated that the new chassis is going to be finished the 20th of October 2001. That is going to be a problem considering we are in 99. Yeah, maybe his cover name is Bond. That would explain quite a lot of things in the game, actually. But yeah, so I don't have many designers. I need to do something about that. It's really easy. Just add. And the thing is, this is going to cost money. So each designer will cost money. You just don't see it here. If you don't think about it, you just... there's nothing that indicates that this is going to cost money. Until you click on the personal breakdown and the projected one. And the projected costs are based on how many employees you have now, because that makes lots of sense, right? Or not. And there you can see the aim for the team is 14 points, and that is a set prize money, and I'm projected to lose 13 millions, which is a problem considering I only have 9 millions. But as I said, Stewart Grand Prix is the easiest team. So, new stuff. Just add some designers and suddenly the estimated finish time for parts are going down rapidly. Imagine if it had been this easy in real life, just throw manpower on it and suddenly everything will go a lot faster without a single chance of failure. So basically what you want to do is try to add as many people as possible to make things finish as soon as possible, because more parts, better parts. You can't ever make a part be slower or worse than the previous one in this game. Like I said, there is a meta to the game, and it is, that's it. You play to the meta. That is the way to do it. The technical director have engineers. The engineer's job is to make spares of everything. That's not going to be an issue. And then the commercial manager have assistants, and the assistants are following up on your sponsors. So, you see that it says 80% interest. That means when the contract runs out in 2, 4, 8 or 16 races, the company will come back to you and ask if you want to keep them as a sponsor. If not, you need to go a hunt for new sponsors. The thing is, there isn't anything to lose by not hiring assistants, because, well, sponsor income is 1.1 million per race. I know, due to my experience, that there's things to get there. I just need to figure out what kind of specialist area the different sponsors are, because if you have Red Bull as a sponsor, you will not be able to get Coca-Cola, because they are competing with each other. Computer hardware, telecommunication. Yeah, I cracked the code already. I think I cracked the code back in 2001. That's, yeah. Automotive. So, Lair and OMP, they are competing. If I put assistants to work with them, I can actually keep both sponsors even though they are competing, because I already have them. But yeah, so look at all the sponsors contracted to different teams. Yeah, team that is West, Bus and Hornets, Bus and Hedges, Run Free, that's Lucky Strike, Winner F1, Winfield, White Square, Transportation, that's Marlboro, 11 Stripes, Goilo, or whatever it's called, the French tobacco thingy. So yeah, and then the famous T- with Prince Malik, marketing. Yeah. Yep, here you go. That is pretty much the thing. Also Red Bull, Dietrich Mateschitz. And I also like the... Ooh, do I have a clothing? Clothing? No, I don't have a clothing sponsor. Nice. That means I can contact a very famous guy at the moment. Oh, let's see. Lawrence Stroll as the Tommy Hilfiger CEO. And that's it. Now I sent a message to Mr. Stroll asking him to sponsor Stewart. As long as I have enough space on the car and do not have a sponsor that's competing in the same category, clothing, then they will automatically say yes. Which is why there is absolutely no point whatsoever to use money on the assistants to help out. There is nothing in it, because you can just offer contracts and they will say yes. And they will actually say yes even if they said when the contract runs out, they get angry. Oh, you didn't pay attention to us, you're not whining and dining us. And then you send them a new message and they say yes. Ooh, F1 Manager Pro 97. That is on the complete opposite end of this game, Geroid. That game is so nitpicky and technical and deep and hard. And this game is, yeah. So yeah, that's the sponsors. Here's the cars. I can't do anything with them right now. There is the components on the car. This is the design bit. I've done that. Then it is engine, electronics and brake systems, which is basically everything you can buy. Resources 100 is quite important because just to show off like Peugeot. 75 in resources. That means they will not have enough money to keep enough engines for a whole season. It's curious. Expertise basically means how good they are at making engines, and as you can see, it is. It's not too much of a difference between the different engines and manufacturers. You also have the Arrows engines, which are only possible to get if you are the Arrows team, and you have Ferrari engines, which is only possible to get if you are Ferrari. But like I said, there is a very easy meta. Just sign Mercedes-Benz. And the same goes for the electronic systems. So resources 50. I will not have enough ECUs for the whole season. I need to be tactical with that. Again, the meta, Magnus Marelli, and you get the best. And with brakes, it's AP Racing or MR Brakes, which has perfect resources and expertise, and Brembo, who has bad resources. And this doesn't change between the years. This is how the game is, and it's hard-coded. And then shift designers, research skill, chassis skills. So research is how good they are at producing parts during season. Chassis skill is how good the chassis will be when you start a new season. Again, the stats are locked. They don't change. Supplier assembly skill, I have to admit I do not quite know what the difference is in the game. And then sponsor skill and merchandising, I haven't noticed anything different with sponsor skills. I guess you need less assistants working if you have a high sponsor skill. But as that is a totally pointless feature of the game, I just go with something that have high merchandising skills so we can get more merchandising. Drivers have a feedback and starting, discipline, fitness, adaptability, overtaking, fast corners, slow corners, morale and overall rating. Feedback is nice, you spend less time making setup. Starting is not really relevant. Overtaking is not relevant. Fast corners, slow corners probably are relevant. Fitness is slightly relevant. Discipline, I have not seen anything happen there either. The morale is just bugged in the game, and you got the overall rating. There isn't much into this game. Oh, here we go. I guess you had top chat only and not live chat, which I realize I have as well. Live chat. Good. But yeah. First driver, second driver, and test driver. It's the test driver is pointless. Because even though it says official test day, and I'm not gonna load into test day, it is that pointless. It says official test day, but it doesn't do anything other than wear down the parts of the car. Alright, let's jump a day. Get new mails, and you're just been told that you now have the latest electronics, engines and brakes. Fine, and there's a test day. Again, there isn't any point in doing this. Sponsorship opportunity. Yep, Frank Perna Jr. MSC. And you can see the value positions and what they're worth. Value left to allocate is 280,000. So I will never be able to maximize the sponsorship money for the first season in Stewart, but that isn't important really. So this might be one of the best features in the game, and that's not a good sign. As you can see, I can place sponsors around the car, and that actually shows up. And there are a couple of sponsors that do change the colors of the car bits a tiny bit. So I prefer to use Agip as the oil sponsor, because that actually changes some of the parts of the car to yellow, which is nice. Anyway, let's sign. Oh, I do have a clothing sponsor, Esprit. Yep. I can also sponsor their forehead. So I mean, if I get a driver with a big forehead, that is probably useful. Routes, maybe. And the thing is, it doesn't say here how many races the different sponsors will be sponsoring for. So that's a bit challenging to try to figure out. Domestic products. No, I don't have any domestic products in the sponsors. Okay, let's do that then. And also go for routes, because there is a bit of colors at least, because the car is boring. It is important to try to get money. And again, the EA Racing news. So much for getting Diverse Deliver as a sponsor, because they have now sponsored Williams. And Benetton has the aim for the Big Four, which means that it's fourth or higher in the Constructor Championship. So if you try to race at Benetton, that is going to be the goal. Yep. Yellow rear ring, that's good. And I was too late, which is stupid because now I'm running out of sponsors. Autosport is a media thing. I can't remember if I have a media sponsor. Just go with it. Go with the flow. Musashi is sponsoring Arrows, and MSC is sponsoring me. That's good. BAR wants a top 6. That's not very easy, but it is more than possible. Alright, let's put some Autosport stickers on the car, and that's it with sponsors then. Sauber, that's top 5 in the championship. Arrows, top 6. Like that is the hardest team to play as, because Arrows is the worst team in the game. Slowest cars, slowest engines, everything is awful. Jordan aimed for top 3, which is also more than possible. Minardi has top 10, which is more than doable. There is a weekly report, just says how much is being built, the progress on the different parts, and that they are not really interested in coming back sponsoring me. But I don't really care, do I? No, I do not. McLaren bullish mood, they want to win the Drivers and the Constructor Championship. Ferrari wants to win either Drivers or Constructor. This is also the objectives you have as a player. Prost, top 8. Surprisingly hard. Williams, top 2. That is a proper challenge in the game. There's going to be a bit of sponsorship news. I got some new brakes, but I don't care about that yet. New front wing, new barge board, and new rear wing. Only thing to remember then is to remove engineers from the old stuff and put engineers to build new stuff. Like I said, it is not a very deep game, and it is yeah, it is a meta. It's easy in this meta, everything. And then add some more designers to see if you can design parts even quicker, because parts are good, they're upgrades. Upgrades make the car go faster, and faster means more money, and more money is fun, or something like that. Yeah, new Ford Cosworth engines, new report, another test day, pointless, new weekly report, new sidepods and suspensions. Good. I also like that those were initially supposed to be finished at my birthday. Alright. And it was suspensions. Alrighty. Let's move on. New electronics. Move on. Move on. Move on. And I got new barge boards again. It's riveting gameplay, is it not? But somehow I still quite enjoy it. I know exactly what's happening and what's gonna happen, but I still enjoy it. There's not gonna be any surprise. It is that feeling as a kid when you felt safe. It's kind of the same. I know what's going to happen, and yeah, it's all very good. So I've gone to March. I just have very little money left, and it says to race. So let's just refit the cars with the best parts I have available. Good. And jump to race. And they do not have any sound while loading. I'm actually not sure how much sound it's going to be while playing either. It is quite simple. Like I said, I'm going to play this at the meta.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
That's loud. Bloody hell, that's loud.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
Why do I do that? Well, because I need to get the guys to set up the car, and they only need one lap for that. We're gonna look a bit more on the graphics a bit later, but practice, just accelerate, wait for the car to get into the pits, then go to the setup page, and somehow raise the rear wing substantially. That's, yeah, I played this enough that I know not how much that's gonna be, but in the ballpark. Even though this is so simple, somehow it is still more engaging in setting up the car than the Frontier Manager game is. That's very weird. And yes, you will get tired of that pitting in this lap sound. And welcome to the world of F1 and practicing. Okay, so it's
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay,
I guess it is quite easy to see why this game killed the whole idea of F1 Manager games, because it's well and truly
okay, I'm pitting on this
subpar.
lap.
It terms of gaming.
I'm pitting
I
on
still
this
like
lap.
it. I'm at the moment talking and clicking with a smile on my face. I don't understand why I needed to do so much suspension stuff with Johnny Herbert, but
Okay, I'm pitting
Okay.
on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
I guess someone who's watching now is gonna get a nightmare. So, that's the perfect setup. Nothing more to do, just accelerate drive. There's no point in driving laps and causing wear on the car because you can already see I have a 2% average part wear on everything, 4% wear on the engine. That's a lot for just doing 6 laps in free practice. And there is no tire rubbering in on the track. There isn't anything like that in the game. So for qualifying, it's very simple. Just to remove a bit of fuel. Tell the guys to push. Put on track. Fast forward a little bit. So they're almost towards the end of the lap. Tell them to risk everything. Fast forward a couple more minutes. Now they're setting lap time. Tell them to pit in to not
I'm
crash the
pitting on
car.
this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
And that is qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix. Now we just wait. Imagine people having played the Grand Prix Manager games or the F1 Manager Professional thing that Geroid talked about, which is a proper deep simulation thing. In the Grand Prix Manager games you have injuries, you have teams going bankrupt, you have rule changes, you have engine manufacturers doing big changes to the engines. You got all of these things. You can spy on other teams to steal parts. You can buy stuff from other teams. You have 5 different tire manufacturers. You have all these things. And in the Grand Prix World Series, they added more work towards getting suppliers and stuff. You had this whole vining and dining VIP stuff to try to get a better deal. You could start off with a customer deal, but if you just spend enough time and money on VIP stuff, maybe you can get a partner deal or a works deal. You could steal the works engine deal from Mercedes, from McLaren, get the Merc engines for Minardi if you just spent enough time and money on it and had some luck, because someone else might do the same. Imagine you play all these games, low budget management games, and then you hear that EA Sports are taking the license they have for the F1 games and they are gonna make a manager game. And you go to stores, you pick up the cover of the game. It looks really good. It's not the 2D dots or the picture style of Grand Prix World. And you install the game and this is what you get. Look at the time spread. It's 15.5 seconds between Mika Häkkinen in pole position and Marco Genier at the back. It's awful. It's very correct, Hugo. EA Sports, if it's in the game, it's not in this game. So, changing engines are not smart because you're gonna run out of engines towards the end of the season. So just refit the barge board and suspensions if you have enough spares. I do not have enough spares of the barge boards, so Johnny Herbert is gonna have a worn one. That's it. Race strategy. 3-stop strategy is the fastest one. That's just how it is. It's because then you can push a bit more, and yeah. So there is one nice feature with the game. It just takes a bit to load in. The game hasn't frozen. There it is. There is some kind of a TV
And it's go, go, go!
TV style way of watching the game. It's a bit loud. It's I think it's worth noting that this is from the early 2000s and it's a manager game.
Pedro Diniz is 70.
I clicked the wrong button.
Mika Hack, Michael Schumacher, Giancarlo Fitz, Jack Filner is 50.
Yeah.
Johnny Herbert is 60.
The thing is, I can't do anything with the drivers now. I just have to watch. Because I want them to push. And here's the thing. This is pretty much 1-by-1 in terms of in terms of game speed. So you can actually spend quite a lot of time watching the F1 race. But it's not that interesting, is it?
Rubens Barrichello.
And yeah, I can see that it is. I don't see it so much on the. It's a replay. I can't see it on the monitor that it is. I'm just waiting to see what the pause was. I can't see what the pause was. The footage on my monitor isn't actually lagging, but I can see the sound stops at times, which is a sign of lag.
Rubens Barrichello is in 5th position. Johnny Herbert follows in 6th position.
Correct. Like I said, it is the first time I'm playing the game on my laptop and I'm streaming from my desktop. Yeah, there was no pause, you say.
Johnny Herbert overtakes.
But the thing is, if we just wait for the scoring to update on the bottom of the screen, which I don't control, it should say. No, it doesn't. So let's just see then. Oh no! So Coulthard is back in 3rd now. It said Coulthard in 2nd. It also said Johnny Herbert is overtaking, but he's 6th. But yeah, the thing is, this isn't very much of an interesting way of doing this because you can't do that much. There isn't much to do. You have the director mode, which also doesn't do too much. So basically, just keep doing the meta. Okay, so they're pushing. It's a 3-stop strategy. They wear about 1% of tires every lap. Okay. What to do? Well, accelerate. Because when they get to a certain percentage... Yeah. I mean... What is going on? It's 1-2. Stewart 1-2. When they get to a certain percentage of tire wear... They are having an enormous risk of a driver error. So let's do one more lap and hope for the best. And have a look on how the lapping is working in this game.
Johnny Herbert.
Or not, because we changed from Barrichello to Herbert. It's interesting to see how lapping doesn't work, and then suddenly we're gonna.
Johnny Herbert is pushing hard.
Yes, he is. And now Hakkinen is unable to lap. This is Sauber, probably Denise or something. But yeah, 10% timer, time to hold position, do not push. Then accelerate time a little bit again. Until they do the pit stops. Which they are doing right now. Then it's time to push again.
Great stop, guys. Well done.
And this is the game. You can easily watch the race, but if you watch, there is not very much to do, and it's not interesting enough to spend 1.5 hours watching the race like this, and you can't speed it up. Even less interesting this way. Here you can see the difference then, ahead and behind. So let's accelerate a little bit more. And like I said, it is very easy being steward, even though this can happen. So Barrichello went off, probably pushing too hard.
I've got bad blistering on the...
Yep. Good thing to hold position. And that I totally agree, Hugo. I also have no problems with the racing manager games that you can see a whole race, but it needs to be some sort of scaling, time scaling there. I'm not gonna ask Johnny Herbert to push because Barrichello has already crashed out, and I want some points. But if you could speed up the TV footage a bit. Oh, now I need to add some sound again because, yeah, interaction with pit crew. No, Geroid. The pit crew just exists at some kind of spiritual level. I can change the pit strategy and how much fuel they're putting in, but yeah. Yeah, but the way it went off, Pani went off, Bargeboard failed, and then driver errors. Very one-sided way to do stuff in this race. So yeah. And there is gaps between the cars like nothing else. 6 laps. I mean, the Arrows cars weren't that good in 99, but 6 laps, that's quite a lot. And I think Hugo was jumping in on either the Next Fest stream or the other manager game stream, where cars have to finish. So Michael Schumacher is heading towards the finish right now. Let's accelerate a little bit and try to watch the last lap then. Yeah, okay. So we're currently on the last lap of the race, and according to the standings, Schumacher and Herbert is on the same lap, and Irvine has been lapped probably by Schumacher by looking at the track map.
Just listen to that.
Yeah, listen to that engine.
Just look at the speed. Fantastic. Michael Schumacher wins in Australia. Brilliant.
Yes, brilliant. And yeah, you would think that, okay, so Herbert and Schumacher are the only ones on the lead lap, so the other cars are finishing the race when they pass the start finish line. No, because this is EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's going to be in the game. So that is not a thing. Oh, it's lagging quite a bit now. Is that frozen? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. Oh, there we're back. That was a long freeze. Sorry about that. Damn, Herbert finished second. And what now? Oh, the other guys hasn't finished. Of course not, because accelerate time. They need to finish all 58 laps themselves. So yeah, you can be a small team and you are 6th, like Jarno Trulli in the Prost, 5 laps behind the leader. The leader finishes the race and you think, oh, yes, it's gonna be 1 point, and then you need to drive for 5 more laps and suddenly you retire. It's so strange. So yeah, Ferrari win at Australia, Albert Park. I know. Race report. Car 1 no problems because it didn't drive too much. Car 2 heavily worn. And we have the most advanced engine, suspension, braking system, barge board, front wings, rear wings and side pods. Yeah, right. Yep. All because I'm just pouring so much manpower into designing stuff. I don't quite understand why we have the most advanced engine, but yeah. And then the commercial report with sponsorship and prize money. And drivers, start your engines. Like I said, it's a morale bug. So Barrichello's already lost quite a bit of morale because he didn't win. Basically, every driver who doesn't win loses the morale, except for a couple of drivers. So I think Luca Badoer is often having a top morale, and that yeah. And then the ones who are fighting for wins keep the morale high, and that impacts the overall rating, but it doesn't impact how they drive. It's also 23 real-life drivers in the game. You have the 22 drivers who did the season, and then you have Mika Salo, who was replacing. I'm not gonna say it's 22. It is 29. Math is hard. It's 31 real-life drivers from the season, and Mika Salo not contracted. So in total, 32 real-life names. It is the 22 racers. It's 9 test drivers. And it is Mika Salo. But just like every other stat in the game, it doesn't change between the years. So Bruno Junqueira, he is never getting any better. Nick Heidfeld is never getting any better. John Alesi isn't getting worse. And that's basically how it is. And negotiations is really simple. Let's say Mika Salo offer contract 32. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother doing much because it's still cheaper, and he's considering my offer. Oh, merchandising. So this isn't something I can do anything about, because while I can put assistants on sponsors, I can't do anything with merchandising. That's solely due to the merchandising skill of the commercial manager. So comfortable jacken. Yeah. I like the names. And that's it. Driver 2 position, Mika Salo has accepted. So if you regret why they're sending out something, whoops, it's too late then. That means I have Mika Salo for next year. And that's how it is. Terminal contract will cost you the whole price. And to end the whole meta thing, offer contract to Mercedes-Benz. Offer contract to Magnus Marelli. And keep the same brakes because that's going to be cheaper. And then I have the most advanced technical car for a whole next year. Then you have rumors. And also that Stewart confirms Mika Salo. And this is a fun thing because throughout the season you will see these rumors coming up for other teams as well, and you will have driver rumors, but that's not happening until race 3 or 4, and I'm actually not bothering playing that much right now. But that is a nice thing, and yeah, I'm just accepting all the supplies because I know that's going to be the best thing. And this means the projected loss for next season is a lot less because I have added more sponsors, I have licensing deals, and Mika Salo is cheaper than Johnny Herbert. And that's it. Oh, here we have the rumor, Ford Zetec for Williams F1. That's the worst Ford engines in the game. And then there is news that, well, I've signed deals. Williams have announced the Ford Zetec engines for next year. Okay. Mount Morelli maybe for Minari, and yeah. Then you just have to click your way through it, and that's not the tug engines, by the way. And this is the whole game. Now I forgot to make some new parts. That's stupid. But yeah, this is how deep this game goes, or how not deep it goes. I think it's more correct. It is a really simple game. It is a managed game, but it doesn't have much management in it. And yet I still enjoy this one more than the Frontier F1 Manager series. I think there is something about being able to just jump through stuff a lot quicker. Like, this stream hasn't been an hour yet, so I'm gonna do one more race, but it hasn't been one whole hour. And I'm already in April. It's so simple to the point where it goes through very fast, and even though everything in the game is the same every time you start a new game, it doesn't really matter what you're doing or how you're doing it. It is always going to be the Mercedes engines are going to be the best. And oh, I can see there's a big freeze again. And when it comes to the chief designers and stuff, it's also going to be the same. Roy Byrne is great at research and almost perfect at chassis, while Neil Oatley is the opposite way around. So just sign them back and forth then. And that's how it's going to be. It's just 1 year contract. And there is a lot of fake drivers. A lot. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fake drivers. Which basically is what I'm using for test drivers. Just finish this up as well. Due to money. So just do like that and you're saving money on test drive, who is pointless. Alright, new race. Refit with the best parts again. And let's jump to Interlagos to do the second race. Hopefully Rubens Barrichello isn't going to... I don't know why I said that in a Italian way. Hopefully he won't retire.
Pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting
This
on
home
this
race,
lap.
and I forgot the sound again. Let's do this proper meta then, to see how quick we can do this. There's no way of saving setups, but it's also pointless because they change when the cars change, so that's fine. And it's not always that the drivers want the same setup either.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay.
But as I said, it is still more enjoyable than the Frontier way of doing setups. But I honestly don't know what it does. It probably just gives the drivers
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on
a
this
slightly
lap.
less chance of making mistakes or something. Yeah. At least it makes somewhat sense for the different tracks. I remember the...
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay.
Oh, I'm getting tired of that sound. Both the Frontier game and the Motorsport Manager game. It doesn't always make sense in terms of
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
what kind of setup they want on the car and how the track is. You might actually end up doing a high downforce setup on Monza or fake Monza.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
That's not happening in this game. So there is actually a thing that is more realistic somehow, and
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay.
By
I'm pitting
talking, I am actually not managing to see or think. What I've done with the setups,
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
which is probably not a good sign for me and my brain, or lack of brain capacity.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
And now we're going back to lower the front wing. Okay, so Johnny Herbert is happy. Barrichello is not happy.
Okay, I'm pitting on this
So
lap.
I'm gonna wear out the car. Okay, Barrichello. Yeah, I'm pitting on this lap.
Okay, I'm
And this
pitting
lap.
on this lap.
And that lap. Okay, Rubinho is happy, I'm happy. And everyone is pitting. It's, yeah. It is... Like I said, I think there is something about how fast-paced this game can be, because there's no point in watching it. So, yeah. I'm not gonna bother with the fuel either. It doesn't have much impact on anything. Risk everything. Wait a couple of minutes.
Okay, I'm pitting
Pit.
on this lap.
And yes, Roy,
Okay,
they are
I'm
pitting on this lap.
lap.
And that's it. That's qualifying. Let's change to the unused barge boards and suspension. And then just wait. And wait. And wait. But yeah, as you can see, the steward team is quite quick, so getting a top 6 in the constructors are very easy. And you can probably see that Sauber getting a top 5, it's going to be a challenge, and Arrows getting top 6 is near impossible. During COVID, I did a challenge in this game. I had a couple of saves, and one of them was Williams, and I made the team objective with 1 point at the end of the season. Oh well, qualifying is done. Strategy, like I said, it is a 3-stopper. That is the way to go regardless of race. And yeah, accelerate. And then it's just another waiting game. Trying to time the tire wear. Probably gonna happen now. Yeah. Let's play it a bit safe. There's a lack of engine sound as well from this. Whatever it is called. The pit wall. It's a lack of engine sound. In general now. Okay. Well, welcome to Formula E in 1999. We are currently watching the very first Formula E race in Brazil. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna pit on lap 18, so it's probably gonna pit now. Yep, you can see them jumping down. And then they jump up again because EA wasn't able to do this properly either, I guess. Obviously, when the AIs are likely to go for one stop, we'll get a bit behind for a while, and then is he retiring, or what's happening? That looked weird. No, he's not retiring. But my drivers are able to go a lot quicker with fresh tires than, well, the AI are going with worn tires. So all in all, it is just an advantage having a 3-stop. It doesn't matter what track you're on. Even Monaco, it does not matter. Oh, Barrichello has crashed again. Well, that's... Oh, he hasn't crashed. It was a suspension failure this time. Yeah, so then we're just having Johnny Herbert hold position then and drive safe to score points again, hopefully. So, yeah. How are we doing, people? Are we still understanding, or are we understanding why this is the game that killed the whole genre? I guess so. Oh, driver error, lap 69. Nice. That's a 0 points for Stewart Grand Prix then, while Mika Häkkinen wins. Yep. Car report's fine. I do get some merchandise, some sponsorship money, and now I lost the sponsors, so we can have a look at that as well. And yeah, champion standings, it doesn't say any numbers, but okay, Herbert is 5th, and Stewart are 4th, so everything is fine. Minardi loses L'Oreal sponsorship. Muellin, I said yes to the test driver. And here is people, they're not happy. I'm sure that other teams will provide better service to my company, and to this end I am pleased to inform you that we will be taking our sponsorship elsewhere. Remember that Rauch said that. They will be happy to take... Oh, merchandising. Money! They will be happy to take sponsorship elsewhere. So, does that mean this is all out for me then? No, it's not. Rauch, offer contract, send. Also, Agip is contract. Okay. Let's just do some then. The thing is, it says that they have no contract with any teams, but they are very likely to just jump back on the teams they were sponsoring. Yeah. They all stay committed, and I'll lose a lot of sponsorship. Or do I? That is a question. Because, oh, the Rauch guy, who was so unhappy with me. Yeah, he's willing to sponsor the team again. So, how important is it then to use assistants' time to try to keep the sponsors? It really doesn't matter at all. What? Hugo? Oh, Minardi has lots of small sponsors. Jesus Christ. Esprit. And let's ask L'Oreal Paris as well. And Texaco. Some have to say yes. Let's see that. Milpaus. Oh, now we're gonna have to say no to someone. Because you see, there isn't anything. Yeah, L'Oreal Paris. And that's all I have of sponsorship opportunities, so I actually have to say no to people. And that is something they remember a bit further in time, because now it should say... No, it doesn't say. It should say broken down, but it doesn't. How they're back to my team is because even though they get angry because I don't give them any VIP treatment in races, the game doesn't remember it, so it has no effect at all. Basically you spend fake money on the assistants to not having to click the sponsorship and company and offer contract. That is basically everything it's for. Ferrari keep the Magnum Marell, that's fine. It serves no other purpose than to just skip a couple of clicks. Yeah. So that's why they're leaving and coming back, because the deal only lasts for a set amount of races. It is the full season for the ones that pay a lot, and then it's 8, 4, and 2 races. So every second race, all the small sponsors, the contract is up, and if you don't spend assistance and VIP time on them, they will just leave. They don't want to sponsor you anymore. Except they don't remember it, because that's not coded in the game. So it have no effect at all on anything. And yeah, Ford Zetek, that's the engines that everyone is going with, and I don't understand quite why. Oh, OMP is now sponsoring McLaren. Oh, let's do the third race as well then, because it might be some driver rumors afterwards. Refit with best parts, refit with best parts. Let's go to Imola, which is one of the tracks in the game where there is a lot of retirements. I'm not quite sure why Imola is so heavy on the retirement in the game, but it is one of the races where I don't really even bother doing the push strat.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
Sound.
Okay, I'm pitting
I
on
don't
this
even
lap.
bother doing the pit strategy thing, because it's, yeah. Softness suspension should be 0% then. Raise rear wing, yeah, 65. Usually have to raise the front wing a bit as well. Soften, let's go to 0 there again, substantially. Okay, 75 then. And front wing the same.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this
Yeah,
lap.
Emilia Romagna. Indeed, except now it's San Marino. Because it's 1999, so it's not in Italy, it's in San Marino.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. On this lap.
And I do wish I could turn off the pitting in this lap message. Maybe not turn off entirely,
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay,
because
I'm pitting
if
on
you
this
actually
lap.
spend time watching the race, the drivers will tell you that the tires are getting worn, and you do get those warnings. But yeah,
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on
it
this
is
lap.
it is tiresome to hear that you're gonna pit every single lap. Let's see what's happening there.
Okay, I'm pitting on this lap. Okay, I'm pitting on this lap.
I don't know, Hugo. It's almost like it is a button that says it, and
Okay, I'm pitting on this
that gives you
lap.
feedback that you can
Okay,
stay
I'm
out as
pitting
well.
on this
They don't
lap.
say anything then,
Okay, I'm
but
pitting on
they
this
do
lap.
tell you they're gonna pit again and again and again. Also, why did I send out Rubens again? Well, because I'm stupid or something. But yeah, San Marino Grand Prix Imola. Well, I can show that towards the end of the stream. The color palette of the game changes depending on what team you are. So this is very blue and white because it is Stewart Grand Prix. Alrighty. Let's do qualifying as normal. Risk everything, risk everything. Do a couple of laps. And pit. And that's it. And then change the parts of the car that I can change. Not the barge boards, but probably the suspensions. Yup. You can already see that they are quite worn on this track. So Imola is a track that really wears down on the car. And that should be possible to see a bit later in the race as well, or in the race. When drivers start to drop out of the race as flies. Also, modern F1 is car dependent, they say. That the drivers are often lining up in teams. Look at this. McLaren, Ferrari, Stewart, Jordan, Williams, Benetton, Williams. It's, yeah. Drivers don't matter that much in this game. It's the car that matters. Strategy, let's do a 3-stop because of fuel this time. And let's get him to push a bit at the start just to try to get a bit of distance back to the Jordans and Williams and Benettons. Yep, that's fine. Hold position and just accelerate through the whole race, because now there's nothing to do. I've taken the decision that the drivers are going to drive safe and hold the position. Well, I'm not exactly going to hold the position. That all depends on the other cars and stuff. But they're not going to push extremely hard, trying to reduce the chance of a driver error. And I would also love it if somehow this race doesn't have that many retirements now. Now I've hyped up Imola to be this kind of a car killer race. But yeah, it's when I play as small teams in this game, this race is often one of the races where I try to drive really safe to be able to finish high up. But it seems like somehow we are getting, well, spoke too soon. It is, Roy. It is. Yeah, I spoke too soon. There are quite a few retirements there now. Oh, let's hope Rubinho doesn't retire then. So this is the reason why Imola is one of the races where you should cross your fingers and toes and everything if you're a small team. Because like Prost trying to get top 8 in the championship, that 4th position for Olivier Panis, that's going to be really important for a season. I'm happy with Rubens Barrichello 2nd, and 8 cars finished the race, and Luca Badoer, of course, 8. Also, I said everyone has to finish all the laps. The point scorers need to finish all the laps in the race. The rest doesn't, because reasons. But yeah, Ferrari wins at San Marino. Michael Schumacher took the checker flag ahead of Rubens Barrichello. Everything is everyone, and I've gotten quite a bit of money. Arrow loses L'Oreal sponsorship tag for Prost. That's fine. Did I ask for L'Oreal? Is it 2? That's a bug I don't understand this. L'Oreal Paris current team none. But they are. I have them as a sponsor, but they are. That's a bug I haven't seen before. Good. Oh, here it comes. Marc Genier and Minardi? Question mark. Well, he is already at Minardi, but yeah, here comes the rumors. Statement from Minardi. They are keeping the same commercial manager. They are keeping the same chief designer. And Marc Genier will be retained as driver 1. Sauber confirms Stefano Domenicali as commercial manager. And Benetton are keeping Laurent Redon as test driver. Williams F1 confirms Ross Brawn as a technical director for next year. And I've gotten some new side pods and suspensions. That's completely different news. Suspension, remove people from working on that and put them on the new ones. So yeah, there are 2. Minardi are keeping Gaston Massican as the test driver, Nice. Ian Phillips is now the commercial manager for Williams for next year. McLaren are keeping Adrian Newey. And Jarno Trulli is being rumored to Prost and Williams. Gaston the mullet, yeah. Gaston. And some new wings. So the things that are actually quite fun or good with this game, except the fact that you could speedrun it. Okay, I'm not going to go to the race now. Is the fact that you do get these rumors, and I mean, you can, if you're gonna meta it, you can just sign every good technical director and chief designer on the first day of the game, and you do that every year. But if you kind of want to give yourself some kind of challenge or try to put up your own rules for the game, you can decide to only start signing drivers or employees at the moment the AI has done it, and then only sign one every other race, which means it's going to be after race 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and 13. And that way you might not get the best ones every year. That is a way to do it a bit more flowing. But then again, the objectives changes based on how you do it. So if I finish the season third with Stewart, it's probably going to be finish third or maybe even second next year. So you need to keep getting better. Because if you fail at an objective, you are getting fired. It doesn't matter if you've played 10 years and everything is going great. If you fail at the objective, you are fired. If your chassis for next year isn't finished within the next year, you are fired. And I also actually think that if the projected money for the next season is a loss or more loss than what you have, you're also getting fired. So, yeah. But that is the EA Sports F1 Manager. I think we can already see the morale bug happening. Look at Pedro Diniz 74 as morale and LSC with 89. They have fallen down the overall rating. Overall rating. And look, about the way it hasn't, because his morale is still good. And this is kind of how it goes. Olivier Panis 75, even though we got 4th in the poor Prost. It's just how it is, and it doesn't impact how the drivers drive. It doesn't impact their salary wishes or anything like that. And the drivers' salaries are also quite hard code. So if for some reason a driver doesn't have a contract for a season, the first year after not having a contract, they are really low on salary. But then if they have a contract for a year, even with a low salary, they will ask for a lot of money again. So it's, yeah, it is how it is. It's so because okay, interesting there. Okay. The last thing to see here is just the different color palettes. So if you take Ferrari, the whole color of the game changes to red because you're a Ferrari. The rest of the game is the same, except you now have the opportunity to use Ferrari engines, which is never going to be the best engines. But yeah, you probably should use Ferrari engines to make it realistic as well. But yeah, it is what it is. The rest of the game is the same. And well, you can show the arrows as well, and to show the arrows engines and the orange colors of arrows. And the arrows engines are 60 expertise and 50 resources. It's a really bad engine and they don't have the money to produce them. So Arrows always runs out of engines towards the end of the season. Lastly, I think the color palette I liked most is not BAR. I just wanted to look at it. Yeah, because the car was split. The buttons are split as well. It is a design choice. And the reason why they have a lot of money is because Villeneuve is taking a lot of money. But yeah, the team with the nicest colors I think is Prost. The deep blue colors. It's really nice. It's almost worth playing as Prost just because of that. Too bad that the car are really awful. They do have a lot of sponsors though, to the point where it's almost worth spending a lot of assistance on the small sponsors for the first couple of races just to keep them. Oh well, I guess that's it. 1 hour and 20 minutes of the game that killed the genre. It's 3 good things with the game. It's fast-paced. The news screen with the rumors and stuff, it is actually quite nice because it doesn't always happen. Like the rumors with Jarno Trulli to Williams and Prost obviously can't go to both, so that's cool. And the fact that you can at times with sponsors do slight changes to how the car looks, and that will show up on the TV screen stuff. That's also a thing that is unique to the game, and yeah, I guess it also proves how bad the game is when you one of the good things about the game is that you can put on sponsor stickers and they might change the color of the car slightly bit. That's a good thing. The rest of the game is objectively shit, but still it's fun to play for some reason. Like I said, I guess it's thinking back of being a kid, and it's everything is safe and cozy and you know what to expect. It is that familiar feeling. It's not good, but it's familiar. I guess that's the thing. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys, and sometime in the future there will be another random stream. Probably not of this game. It should be something a bit more fun to watch, I hope. Anyway, have a nice one, and I'll catch you guys later.